I want to let you in on something fascinating today because so many people spend years confused about whether someone is truly drawn to them or simply being polite. We've all heard the cliches, if she fixes her hair, she's interested, or if she laughs at your jokes, it must mean something. But the truth is, attraction runs far deeper than those surface-level hints. Psychology tells us that body language often carries the real story, signals that the mouth never dares to speak. One of the most overlooked yet powerful moments where this truth comes out is in the way a woman greets a man she secretly desires. Believe it or not, those first few seconds of a hello, a handshake, or a hug can communicate more about her emotions than hours of conversation. And here's the surprising part. It isn't the obvious signs people usually point out. Behavioral. Research shows that women unconsciously display attraction through subtle, almost invisible details. Most men miss them entirely. But once you learn to see these hidden cues, you'll never be left wondering whether you're just a friend or something much more. The first greeting reveals more than you realize. When you meet someone for the first time, you might think that what matters most are the words spoken, the conversation that follows, or the impression you give with your appearance. But psychology shows that the very first greeting often reveals far more than all of that. Those initial seconds, how you say hello, how you lean in, how you allow your body to move, can express feelings you might not even know you are showing. Most women underestimate this moment. They believe attraction will be noticed only later, after a deeper connection or longer conversation. Yet in reality, the human brain is wired to read subtle signals instantly. A man often forms an impression in the first few seconds, not just by what you say, but by how you greet him. And without realizing it, you might already be showing if you see him as just a friend or as someone who awakens something deeper inside you. The first greeting carries energy. Think about the difference between a cold, formal handshake and a warm, natural smile paired with a light touch on the arm. The man may not consciously analyze it, but on a subconscious level, he feels the difference. His body and mind receive the signal, either distance or openness, either politeness or hidden attraction. What makes this so powerful is that greetings are automatic. You don't have time to rehearse or overthink. Your subconscious takes control, and that's why the truth slips out in small gestures. If you are truly drawn to someone, your body may lean closer without you realizing. Your eyes may shine for a moment longer. Your smile may linger in a way that is impossible to fake, and, because it happens instantly, these signals are often more honest than anything you say later. There is also a rhythm to a greeting. When you feel nothing special for someone, your hello is quick, mechanical, and done without thought. But when there is attraction, the timing changes. You might hold his gaze a little longer, pause before stepping back, or allow the hug to stay just a second more than necessary. These details might seem insignificant to you, but to the man receiving them, they can create a deep emotional impression. Another part of the first greeting that reveals more than expected is the tone of your voice. Research in psychology shows that vocal pitch and rhythm shift slightly when we greet someone we are interested in. The voice may soften, become more melodic, or carry warmth that isn't there with others. Again, this isn't planned. It's a spontaneous reaction from the subconscious mind. And because men are sensitive to these tonal changes, even if they cannot explain it, they feel the difference. It's also important to realize that the first greeting doesn't only reveal attraction, it also reveals hesitation, discomfort, or boundaries. If you keep physical distance, avoid eye contact, or greet with crossed arms, it communicates that you see the man only in a neutral or distant way. And while you might think you are hiding your feelings well, your greeting already told the story. 4. Women. Understanding the psychology of greetings is powerful because it helps you become more aware of your own signals. It is not about manipulating or pretending. It is about noticing what your body naturally reveals so that you can understand yourself better. When you notice how you greet someone, you may uncover feelings you had not yet admitted to yourself. This awareness also helps you read the greetings you give to others. If you realize that your tone, your smile, or your closeness changes with certain people, it may reveal who truly stirs something inside you. Often, attraction is hidden not in long conversations but in these small instinctive gestures. And here's the deeper truth. Men rarely forget the way a woman first greets them. That memory stays because it feels authentic. A smile, a spark in the eyes, or a touch at the very beginning can leave a stronger mark than words spoken hours later. It is like an emotional fingerprint that cannot be erased. So the next time you greet someone, pay attention. Notice the way your body naturally moves, the tone of your voice, the distance you keep, or the closeness you allow. In that short, almost invisible moment, you reveal more about your feelings than you imagine. And once you understand the hidden psychology behind greetings, you will never look at those first seconds the same way again. The way she hugs hides what words cannot say. A hug seems like such a simple act. Two people lean in, arms around each other, a quick moment of contact before moving on. But psychology reveals that a hug is never just a hug. The way you hold someone, the closeness you allow, and the emotion you pour into that brief moment often reveal feelings far deeper than words ever could. When a woman is drawn to a man, her hug unconsciously shifts. It may be longer, warmer, or more personal compared to the way she greets others. While she may think she is giving the same polite embrace, her body communicates something completely different. A man may not analyze every detail consciously, but he feels the difference. His mind registers warmth, softness, and closeness that stand apart from ordinary greetings. There are many forms of hugs, and each carries its own hidden meaning. A quick one-arm hug where distance is maintained usually signals friendship or formality. It says, "I respect you, but nothing more." A full embrace with both arms and body contact communicates openness, vulnerability, and trust. And when a woman slightly lingers, holding that embrace for a fraction longer than necessary, it reveals attraction more clearly than any spoken confession. The pressure of the hug also matters. A loose, half-hearted hug sends the signal of neutrality, maybe even discomfort. But when the embrace feels secure, firm, and intentional, it is filled with emotion. That intensity cannot be hidden because it comes from the subconscious. A woman who feels drawn to a man will naturally hold him closer, almost as if her body refuses to let go too quickly. Another element is the positioning. Notice how the head tilts during the hug. When the head rests gently on his shoulder or leans toward his neck, it communicates intimacy and comfort. That position exposes vulnerability, and people do not give that easily unless there is trust or attraction. On the other hand, when the head remains upright, distant, or angled away, it reflects a guarded state of mind. Even the hands tell a story. A polite hug usually ends with hands placed lightly on the shoulders or upper back. But when the hands slide slightly lower, rest at the middle of the back, or give a small squeeze, it is a silent sign of affection. Some women may not realize they do this, but it is one of the clearest subconscious ways of showing a man that he matters more than others. The length of the hug is also a signal that cannot be ignored. A short embrace of 1 or 2 seconds feels like a formality, the kind shared with acquaintances. But when the hug stretches into 3, 4, or even 5 seconds, it communicates something entirely different. Time slows down in that moment, and the woman is giving him a piece of her attention, her presence, and her heart. Most men can feel when a hug lasts longer than normal, and even if they cannot put it into words, they recognize it as a sign of special interest. Psychologists point out that hugs release oxytocin, the hormone often called the bonding chemical. This is why a warm embrace can create a sudden sense of closeness and connection. For women, hugging a man they secretly like may feel natural, but inside, the brain is reinforcing attraction and attachment. That is why these moments can leave such a lasting impression. For the woman, being aware of how she hugs is important. Not to fake or manipulate, but to understand what her own body reveals. If you notice that you naturally hug one man differently from all the others, longer, warmer, closer, it may reflect feelings you have not yet admitted to yourself. The hug becomes a mirror of your subconscious emotions, and for men, Receiving that hug can change everything. A woman may never say a word about her feelings, but in that short moment of closeness, he can sense something unique. It is often the unspoken gestures, not the long conversations, that leave the deepest mark. The beauty of this truth is that hugs bypass logic. They go straight to emotion, straight to the body's hidden language. And because of that, they reveal what many women try to keep hidden. Attraction, affection, or desire often slip out through the way arms wrap around another body, the closeness of the hold, or the refusal to let go too soon. So next time you think a hug is just a hug, remember, the body always speaks first. If you're secretly drawn to someone, your embrace will tell the story, whether you intend it or not. And once you recognize this, you will never see a simple hug the same way again. If you want to go deeper into the hidden patterns shaping your relationships, there's a method that can guide you. It's called the Jung Method, and the link is pinned in the first comment. Eye contact during hello uncovers deeper feelings. There is something almost magical about the eyes. They are often called the windows to the soul, and for good reason. A single glance can reveal more than an entire conversation. When it comes to attraction, eye contact is one of the most powerful signals a woman gives without even realizing it. And during the very first hello, those seconds of looking into someone's eyes can expose emotions she may not be ready to put into words. Most women think they can hide their feelings simply by keeping their words neutral. They believe that as long as they don't openly confess attraction, no one will know. But the eyes have their own language. Psychology shows that pupils dilate slightly when we look at someone we like. Our gaze naturally lingers longer. Our eyelids soften, and even the rhythm of blinking changes. These tiny details are impossible to fake consistently. When a woman greets a man she secretly likes, her eyes often hold his just a little longer than usual. That extra second of connection may feel small, but it creates intensity that words cannot match. The man may not consciously count the seconds, but he feels the depth. He knows something in her gaze is different, more alive, more personal. There is also a difference between polite eye contact and emotional eye contact. A polite look is brief, functional, almost mechanical. It serves the purpose of acknowledgement. But emotional eye contact carries warmth. The eyes shine, they communicate curiosity, and they seem to say, "I see you, and I want to see more." That look cannot be hidden, because it comes from the heart rather than the mind. Psychologists studying attraction note that people often break and re-establish eye contact when they feel drawn to someone. A woman may look into his eyes, glance away quickly as if caught, then return her gaze again. This rhythm of looking and looking away is a sign of nervousness mixed with interest. It is as if her subconscious wants the connection, but her conscious mind is not ready to fully admit it. The direction of the gaze also matters. Looking straight into his eyes with an open, steady focus shows confidence and genuine attraction. Looking down after eye contact can signal shyness, but also vulnerability, another clear indicator of deeper feelings. On the other hand, avoiding eye contact altogether during a greeting often signals disinterest or discomfort. The absence of a gaze can speak as loudly as its presence. Another fascinating detail is how the eyes pair with facial expressions. When attraction is present, the eyes often widen slightly, and the eyebrows may raise in a brief micro-expression. Combined with a natural smile, this creates what psychologists call the Duchenne smile, a smile that engages not only the mouth, but also the eyes. This type of smile is almost impossible to fake convincingly, and it is one of the clearest indicators of authentic emotion. For women, understanding their own eye contact is like discovering a hidden diary of emotions. If you notice that your eyes linger on one man more than others, that your gaze softens when you look at him, or that you find it hard to look away, those are silent confessions your body makes before your words do. Being aware of this does not mean you should force or control it. It simply means you gain insight into your own feelings. For men, receiving this type of eye contact is unforgettable. A woman may say nothing, but if her eyes light up when she greets him, that memory stays. It leaves an emotional imprint that can be stronger than physical touch. Because when someone's eyes reveal desire or affection, it goes straight into the subconscious, bypassing all logical defenses. Eye contact is also one of the most bonding forms of communication. Studies show that when two people hold each other's gaze for more than a few seconds, their bodies release oxytocin, the same hormone triggered by touch and intimacy. This means that even a brief hello with genuine eye contact can build a sense of closeness and trust. What makes this so powerful is that the eyes cannot lie for long. You might try to disguise your emotions with words or posture, but your gaze always gives you away. And that is why men often trust what they feel through a woman's eyes more than what they hear from her mouth. So the next time you greet someone, pay attention to your eyes. Do they dart away quickly, or do they linger with warmth? Do they harden into neutrality, or do they soften with hidden affection? The answer might reveal more about your true emotions than you ever intended. Because in the end, the eyes are not just windows to the soul, they are the secret messengers of attraction. Physical distance or closeness speaks louder than words. When it comes to attraction, space is never neutral. The distance a woman keeps during a greeting tells more about her emotions than most people realize. Every step closer or further away is a signal, and psychology shows that our bodies instinctively adjust space depending on how safe, comfortable, or drawn we feel toward someone. In everyday life, we maintain what psychologists call personal space. With acquaintances or strangers, we keep a protective bubble of distance. But when a woman feels a pull toward a man, that bubble shrinks. She may step a little closer, lean forward instead of back, or allow her body to enter his space without hesitation. None of this is planned. It's a natural response of trust and attraction. During a greeting, even a few inches make a difference. If a woman greets a man from arm's length, leaning away or keeping her body turned slightly aside, it communicates formality or disinterest. On the other hand, if she closes the gap, standing near enough that their arms or shoulders brush, it signals openness and emotional availability. Men may not analyze this consciously, but they feel it instantly. Another subtle clue is the orientation of the body. When we want to distance ourselves emotionally, we often angle our torso away. The greeting becomes quick, with the body half turned, as if ready to leave. But when there is attraction, the torso faces fully toward the man. The feet point in his direction, the shoulders square with his, and the body leans into the moment rather than out of it. This alignment reveals interest that words cannot cover. Touch also becomes easier when closeness is present. A light brush of the arm, a shoulder-to-shoulder hug, or even standing just a little too close for polite space, all indicate that attraction is at play. Women who feel nothing rarely allow that level of proximity, while women who secretly, like a man, may find themselves naturally drifting closer without thinking. Closeness also changes the energy of the greeting. A simple hello feels different when spoken from a distance compared to when spoken softly just inches away. Tone, warmth, and intimacy all increase when the physical space narrows. It creates a private world where even a short greeting feels personal, as if it belongs only to the two of them. At the same time, distance can communicate something powerful too. If a woman deliberately keeps her space, crossing arms or stepping back as soon as the greeting is over, it shows boundaries. Sometimes this means disinterest. Other times it reflects fear of revealing too much. Either way, the message is clear. Closeness is not being offered. For women, being aware of this is important. If you notice that you always step closer to one particular man, or that your body naturally leans toward him even when you try to appear neutral, it is your subconscious revealing attraction. You are signaling comfort and desire before you even realize it. For men, reading this signal can be confusing because women may not even know they are doing it, but over time the pattern becomes clear. When she closes the distance with you more than with others, it means something deeper is stirring. The truth is, physical space is not empty. It is filled with meaning. Every inch a woman gives or withholds during a greeting is a reflection of her emotions. She doesn't have to say she's interested. Her closeness already says it. And once you recognize this, you will see that the body always speaks louder than words. The tone of her hi carries hidden intentions. Words matter, but the way they are spoken often matters even more. A simple hi may seem small and meaningless, but psychology shows that tone, pitch, rhythm, and energy carry far more information than the actual word itself. When a woman greets a man she secretly likes, her voice often betrays what her mind is trying to hide. Think about how differently you speak depending on who you're talking to. With strangers, your voice is polite, neutral, controlled. With friends, it becomes warmer, casual, and playful. But when you feel drawn to someone, something shifts automatically. The voice softens, grows more melodic, sometimes even higher in pitch. These changes may be tiny, but they are powerful indicators of attraction. During a greeting, men subconsciously listen to this. They might not analyze it or even notice it on a conscious level, but they feel the difference. A hi spoken in a flat, quick tone feels mechanical. But when the same word is spoken with warmth, lingering slightly, or paired with a subtle smile, it creates an entirely different impression. That single syllable carries emotion. Another revealing clue is energy. When there is no attraction, greetings often sound routine, but when there is hidden interest, the voice carries enthusiasm, as if it lights up just for that person. A woman may greet many people in the same room, but if her tone suddenly rises in warmth or brightness when speaking to one man, the contrast is hard to ignore. Psychologists note that vocal tone is one of the hardest things to control consciously. Even trained speakers struggle to disguise their emotions completely. This is because the voice is directly linked to the nervous system. When you feel nervous, shy, or excited around someone you like, your voice reflects that instantly. It may tremble slightly, speed up, or soften unconsciously. The length of the greeting also matters. A rushed hi delivered in passing suggests distance or formality. But when a woman slows down, allowing her voice to stretch the word into a more personal sound, it often signals comfort and affection. She is not in a hurry to let go of that moment. Another subtle sign is laughter woven into the greeting. A light giggle or playful tone at the very start creates intimacy. It signals that she feels safe and happy in his presence. That emotional undertone often speaks louder than any confession of interest. For women, becoming aware of this is enlightening. You may think you're greeting everyone the same way, but your tone may shift dramatically when addressing someone you secretly like. Recording yourself in different contexts might even surprise you, revealing changes you never noticed. Attraction has a way of sneaking into the voice because it is impossible to separate feeling from sound. For men, receiving such a greeting can be unforgettable. A woman may say nothing directly, but the way her hi lingers in warmth stays in his memory. He may not consciously realize why it felt different, but he will replay it in his mind, sensing that something genuine was hidden within that tone. The power of vocal signals lies in their intimacy. Words can be rehearsed, but tone is spontaneous. It comes directly from the heart, bypassing the mind's filters. That is why a woman's voice can reveal her attraction even when she is trying to remain composed. So the next time you greet someone, listen to your own voice. Is it neutral and polite, or does it soften and brighten unexpectedly? Does it rush to end the moment, or does it linger, inviting connection? The answer may uncover emotions you didn't realize were there. Because in the end, a simple hi is never just a word, it is a mirror of your hidden intentions. A light and casual touch is never just casual. Touch is one of the most powerful forms of communication, and yet it is often dismissed as accidental or meaningless. But psychology tells us that touch is rarely without intention. Even the smallest brush of a hand or the lightest contact on the arm can carry emotional weight. When a woman greets a man she secretly likes, her touches, no matter how casual they may seem, often reveal more than she intends. Think about it. Most women are careful with physical boundaries. In everyday interactions, they respect personal space and avoid unnecessary contact. But when attraction enters the picture, that caution fades. Without realizing it, a woman may place her hand lightly on his arm during a greeting. Allow her fingers to linger for a moment or give a playful tap on the shoulder. To others, it may look casual, but to the man, it feels different. It creates a spark. The placement of the touch is important. A polite touch usually happens on safe zones, like the shoulder or upper back. But when attraction is present, touches may shift subtly lower, to the mid-back, the forearm, or even the hand. These spots carry more intimacy, signaling comfort and desire. Even if the woman never says a word, her body language is quietly confessing. The pressure of the touch also communicates emotion. A quick light tap may seem playful and friendly, but a gentle squeeze, even for a second, sends a deeper message of connection. Psychologists explain that our hands often act before our words do. When we feel affection, our muscles relax, and the warmth of our palms naturally lingers on the person we're drawn to. Timing adds another layer. If the touch happens instantly and is withdrawn quickly, it feels safe and formal. But if it lingers, if her hand remains for just one extra second, it transforms the meaning completely. That pause speaks louder than an entire conversation, telling the man he holds a special place in her emotions. Another subtle clue is how natural the touch feels. When a woman touches without hesitation, as if her body simply knows what to do, it often reflects true comfort and attraction. Forced touches, on the other hand, feel stiff, awkward, or overly controlled. The difference is easy to sense because authentic attraction flows smoothly, while pretended closeness always shows cracks. Touch also creates a physical memory. Science shows that even a brief touch can release oxytocin, the bonding hormone. That's why people often replay those small moments in their minds long after they happen. For a man, the memory of a woman's hand brushing against his during a greeting can stay far longer than her words. It leaves a trace of warmth, intimacy, and possibility. For women, being aware of how they touch during greetings is a way to understand their own hidden feelings. If you notice that you only touch one man differently, more often, more warmly, more playfully, it reveals attraction you may not yet have admitted to yourself. Your body acts before your mind does, and the truth slips out through these subtle gestures. For men, noticing these touches can feel like uncovering a secret. A woman may never confess her interest directly, but if she allows touch or creates it herself during greetings, that is a signal that cannot be ignored. It is her subconscious saying what her words do not. The beauty of these small gestures is that they are often invisible to others. A light brush of the hand may go unnoticed by everyone else in the room, but between the two people involved, it carries deep meaning. It creates a private world, a moment of intimacy hidden in plain sight. So the next time you greet someone, pay attention to the role of touch. Is it quick and distant, or does it linger just a little too long? Is it stiff and polite, or natural and warm? The answers might reveal more about your hidden emotions than you realize. Because when attraction is present, even the lightest, most casual touch is never just casual. The time she spends on the greeting is a silent signal. In our fast-paced world, time has become one of the most precious gifts. The way we use it reflects what and who truly matters to us. That's why the length of a greeting can quietly reveal more than many women realize. When attraction is present, even a simple hello or hug stretches just a little longer, and that extra time becomes a silent signal of deeper feelings. Think about the way greetings usually happen in daily life. With strangers or acquaintances, they are quick and efficient. A short hi, a nod, maybe a polite handshake, and then the moment is over. There's no reason to linger, because the emotional connection is thin. But when a woman is secretly drawn to a man, she often breaks this rhythm. Her greeting slows down. She allows more time, as if she is reluctant to let the moment end. This can be seen in many small ways. A handshake may last an extra beat. A hug may hold just a second longer than expected. Even eye contact during hello may refuse to break, creating a pocket of time that feels different from the rest of the world. These pauses are not accidental. They are the subconscious refusing to rush, because attraction always wants to savor. Men often notice this difference, even if they cannot explain it. They sense that the greeting was not mechanical. It felt alive, deliberate, filled with unspoken meaning. A hug that should have ended quickly became something warmer. A simple hi carried the weight of presence, as if the woman was fully there giving him her undivided attention. This creates an emotional imprint that is hard to forget. Psychologists explain that when we feel attracted, our perception of time changes. Moments with the person we like feel shorter and longer at the same time. Short because they pass quickly, but long because they are filled with intensity. This paradox is why a woman's greeting often lingers without her realizing it. Her subconscious stretches the moment, unwilling to let go. The difference between a short and a long greeting may be just seconds, but emotionally it feels much greater. A quick hello communicates formality. It says, "I acknowledge you," but nothing more. A longer greeting says, "I value this moment, I want it to last." That silent choice speaks volumes about hidden feelings. Another important detail is consistency. If a woman spends more time greeting one particular man compared to others, the contrast becomes impossible to ignore. It is not about the length of time in absolute terms, but about how much more time she allows for him than for anyone else. That difference reveals priority. For women, becoming aware of this is powerful. Notice how you greet different people. Do you rush with most, but slow down with one? Do you hold eye contact longer, hug tighter, or let your smile linger only for him? These small differences expose your emotions even when you are trying to stay neutral. For men, receiving such greetings often feels like being singled out in a special way. The woman may not say a word, but the time she invests in that simple hello makes him feel valued. That recognition is unforgettable because time is the one thing that cannot be faked. You cannot borrow more of it without meaning to. You either give it willingly or you don't. The truth is, the way a woman uses time in a greeting is one of the clearest reflections of her attraction. She doesn't need to confess anything openly. By letting the hug linger, the handshake tighten, or the eye contact stay, she already reveals her heart. And once you see this, you understand why the shortest moments can carry the deepest meaning. The subtle cues that separate friendship from desire. Attraction and friendship can sometimes look similar on the surface. Both involve warmth, smiles, and comfort. That's why so many women believe they can hide their deeper feelings by blending them into ordinary gestures of friendliness. But psychology shows that there are small, almost invisible differences that separate the signs of simple friendship from the signals of desire. And once you know what to look for, the contrast becomes clear. Friendship greetings are predictable. They are warm but controlled. A friendly hug is short, light, and polite. Eye contact is steady, but not intense. The voice is relaxed, casual, and neutral. Touch, if it happens, is brief and located in safe public zones like the shoulder. These behaviors communicate closeness but with boundaries. They create comfort without vulnerability. Desire, on the other hand, cannot stay within those limits. It leaks through in subtle ways, transforming small gestures into something richer, deeper, and harder to dismiss. A hug lingers just a second, longer. The body leans in with openness instead of holding back. The voice softens and grows warmer, carrying an energy that friendship alone does not produce. Eye contact stretches as if unwilling to let go, and the smile carries an intensity that shines differently. Another major difference lies in consistency. With friends, greetings are equal. A woman hugs her friends in the same way, speaks with the same tone, and gives the same amount of time. But when one greeting feels different from the rest, longer, closer, more charged, it reveals attraction. Desire always breaks the pattern. Even nervousness is a clue. Friendship feels easy and effortless, but desire often brings tension. A woman may fumble slightly, glance away and return her gaze, or laugh more than usual when greeting the man she secretly likes. These signs are not mistakes. They are the subconscious struggling to balance what she feels with what she shows. Touch is another dividing line. Friendly touches are safe and functional. Desire-driven touches are personal. The hand lingers, squeezes, or finds more intimate areas like the forearm or lower back. These details, while small, carry enormous meaning. They reveal emotions friendship never needs to express. The way time is used also sets the two apart. Friendship greetings end quickly. Desire stretches them. When a woman secretly likes a man, she unconsciously invests more time in the moment. She doesn't rush to step away. She lets the connection breathe, as if reluctant to lose it. That difference, though subtle, can be felt deeply. For women, recognizing these cues is not about controlling them, but about self-awareness. By noticing whether your greetings lean more toward friendship or desire, you learn what your own body is telling you. Sometimes your heart speaks before your mind does, and your gestures reveal truths you haven't admitted yet. For men, understanding these differences removes confusion. If her greeting is equal to everyone else's, it is likely only friendship. But if she greets you differently, warmer, longer, softer, then she is silently telling you that you mean more. In the end, the body does not lie. Friendship and desire may look similar, but the details always reveal the truth. Once you start to see these subtle cues, you realize that attraction has its own language, a language spoken not in words but in the pauses, touches, and looks that cannot be faked. Attraction hides in the smallest details, often in moments we overlook. Maybe the truth is not in grand declarations, but in the way we say hello. Because the way we greet someone is not just about them. It is a mirror of ourselves, showing what we feel before we dare to speak.